Good evening and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us on Equatorial Guinea State Television. Today's Wednesday, June 3rd, and it's 6:40 p.m. local time, and this is the news. Headlines. The Equatorial Guinean government congratulated health workers for their work in the fight against coronavirus in the country and announces the launching of a massive test in the near future. Meeting this Wednesday at the Ministry of Interior and Local Cooperation between the traditional doctors and the Technical Committee for Surveillance and COVID-19 Prevention. Relief for many citizens who can finally, after several parting weeks, see their loved ones. Thereafter, the first flight of the company Sabre Intercontinental to Malabo and Bata. In foreign news, natural disaster at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. Indian authorities evacuated several coronavirus patients after the arrival of the storm Nisaga. The Equatorial government congratulated the health workers for their labor in the fight against coronavirus in the country. The information arises from the working session that brought together the Vice President of the Republic, His Excellency Teodoro Ngema Obiang Mange, and the responsible of the Watchfulness Technical Committee for COVID-19 response. The occasion has also served as a framework to announce the launching of a massive test in the near future.
Equatorial Guinea bets on the massive test for the entire population, and this was decided by Teodoro Ngema Mange with the Technical Committee for Fight and Surveillance of the Coronavirus in a working session that they held on June 3rd at the People's Palace of Malabo. After the last meeting on May 28th, the President of the Political Committee and the specialists decided to meet this week to discuss the plan to test the entire country in order to obtain more concrete figures on COVID-19 cases in Equatorial Guinea. Precisely, during the meeting, the professionals of the Technical Committee have explained to Ngema Mange the different strategic methods they have to expedite such plan. In a country where the confirmed cases already exceed 1,000, more than 10 dead and around 255 recovered, according to the last official update. The strategy of the health technicians, called the Stop Lab, is to establish 36 sampling locations in the two major cities, Malabo and Bata. These stop labs point on the main entire route to these cities, as well as the availability of the mobile team that will cover other strategic sites. According to the expert, 700 samples are expected to be taken a day from all the established centers, and the plan implementation time for the plan is 3 months. Since the confirmation of the first case of coronavirus in the country on March 14, the executive of Malabo has been taking steps to protect the life of Equatorial Guineans. Since the closure of borders and national public establishment, the unblocking of 5 billion francs for the cost of the purchases of medical equipment. Despite this effort, cases has been gradually increasing in the two main cities of Equatorial Guinea. The idea of the Vice President of the Republic and the technical team is first to define with certainty the behavior of COVID-19 toward the national territory and then make the relevant decisions. For this, apart from the material that is already working in the Banel laboratory, the Technical Committee has just received another device with a capacity of 500 daily tests, which the government acquired in its fight to contain the coronavirus pandemic in Equatorial Guinea.
The evaluation program for COVID organics and the ECOC remedy for the treatment of uncomplicated COVID-19 in Equatorial Guinea has been presented today in the meeting room of the Banel Laboratory.
The objective of evaluation of COVID organics and the herbal remedy ECOC for the treatment of uncomplicated COVID-19 in Equatorial Guinea is to characterize the safety profile of the remedies when used in the study population, and also to assess the availability of the remedies to eliminate symptoms in this population, examine whether COVID organics can potentially reduce the risk of severe progression for the study population. The researchers have also presented a justification design that starts from randomization and binding techniques and standard of care for COVID-19, infection prevention and control, and support. They have also demonstrated the description of herbal medicine with all the requirements demanded by the World Organization for their research product.
We're still talking about COVID-19. Aiming to sensitize traditional doctors about COVID-19 prevention measures, the Technical Committee for Surveillance and Prevention held a meeting this Wednesday with this group.
The work meeting began with the appeal of the Vice President of the Technical Committee that traditional doctors give greater importance to the preventive measures when caring for their patients, since the risk of infection is always present, and they have also asked them so that they join forces and seek through the means that they have a remedy to fight against this disease, since they have a very important work in our society. And for his part, Moises Salvador Yenemito, Vice President of Asometraje, has valued that meeting positively and has shown himself willing to ensure that the components of the Asometraje comply with these measures.
The new person in charge of the activities of the Technical Committee in the Insular region, Justino Obamanve, has sat down with the heads of the hospital that receive patients with coronavirus. It's been to know the operation of each hospital center in regard to the treatment protocol and case management, as well as knowing the weakness of each hospital. The meeting has taken place in the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare.
Each person in charge had a specific space to present to the meeting the operation of their hospital in terms of managing the coronavirus pandemic, the protocols applied in the treatment and management of cases, the evolution of each patient's difficulties that each hospital goes through. After all the exhibitions, a wide debate has been opened so that each one can give their contribution to improve the management of the pandemic in the country. The meeting, which had previously been held under the direction of the Minister of State for Health, called the Scientific Committee, has served for Justino Obamanve as the new coordinator of the activities of the Technical Committee of the Insular region to be up to date the activities carried out in hospitals after their restatement. On the same day, Chinese experts within the framework of their work agenda in the country have visited the Lorikomba Polyclinic to learn about the protocols activated by the polyclinic since the appearance of the pandemic. The experts have shared experiences with the management of the hospital, where they have received all the required information. The visit concluded with a tour in all the compartments of the polyclinic.
The Sabre company has started local flight authorized by the government to transfer the citizens who were blocked in the two regions of the country. The first flight has left Malabo for Bata on Tuesday amid strong coronavirus prevention measures.
At 14 hours 50-minute, machines from the Malabo International Airport proceeded to operate bus pack on the international Sabre plane already for deployment. At 3 p.m. as planned by the general management of the company, the 737 Sabre Intercontinental device cleared the runway of the Malabo International Airport towards the runway of the city of Bata airfields, taking with it on board 74 passengers rescued by the city government in the city of Malabo in the midst of the pandemic. A trip, according to those responsible for the commercial management of Sabre, satisfactorily both for the efficiency and professional zeal shown by the entire continent of Sabre Intercontinental staff, for the exact materialization of the government request through the new general direction of this national airline, and the civil behavior of the population both at the time of requiring their ticket and at the time of check-in, all the times respected the protocol designed by the Sabre Intercontinental. On the other hand, the Sabre Intercontinental General Director has deeply regretted on having taken all the citizens who were depending to move to the city of Bata for security reasons recommended by experts in the World Health Organization and International Civil Aviation. According to assessment by some of the beneficiaries of this poncho rescue flight managed by the political front chaired by the Vice President of the Republic under study with experts in public health in our country, he feels once again grateful to the government for watching over the well-being of its population, while praising the management and punctuality of the new Sabre Intercontinental General Directorate.
As known, the government of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea, through the Ministry of Commerce and Promotion of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, released funds to support small and medium-sized enterprises in this crisis period caused by the COVID-19. In recent days, several entrepreneurs are interested in such funds, according to the representative of the national private sector.
This is an economic sum of 2 billion francs CFA offered by the government through the Ministry of Commerce to national small and medium-sized enterprise. At first, few economic actors approached to interest in these support funds, but according to Evita Oma, in recent moments, the number has increased considerably. But in addition to 2 million allocated to companies affected by COVID-19, the Equatorial Guinean government has once again allocated another amount to micro companies so that they, after the pandemic, can continue to act as such. Evita assures that it ensures that the micro, since they do not constitute formal companies, the requirement to be beneficiaries of the credit do not need to present so many requirements. At the end of the interview, the representatives of the small and medium-sized enterprise has addressed these words of encouragement to the Entrepreneurs Union.
The Tech Campus is a social event for the Equatorial youth, and for its success, the Telecommunication Infrastructure Management of Equatorial Guinea (TVGE), for its acronym in Spanish, has asked for the collaboration of its employees in all sectors to guarantee connectivity to the participant and access to all the activities to be carried out on the third edition.
It will be a great chance this year, highlight Bonaventura Amba, confirming that the activities of this third edition will be carried out online. For those who do not have interest access, TVGE and other collaborating companies in this project offer them the opportunity to follow the contest through Equatorial Guinean television and other media available of the company.
The Sampaka Security Center, led by the technical director, continues to offer help to mentally ill in this time of health crisis caused by the new coronavirus. This time, there have been a batch of food products and masks.
Taking into account the vulnerability of the mentally ill before the threat of the COVID-19, the Security Center of Sampaka is carrying out a plan to donate essential products and masks to this group so that they can equally prevent themselves. It is an aid program that this center has established during this time of health crisis to help this social group and which aims to extend it to the mainland of the country. Dr. Raul Castro, Technical Director of Sampaka Psychiatry Center, believes that it is important at this time that families pay more attention to their relatives with mental problems as they are a vulnerable group of this pandemic.
Now let's talk about something totally different. For instance, fire. Because the head of the Malabo fire station, Astamiro Onva Edo Bindang, has stated that in these 2021 5 months, a total of 20 fires occurred throughout Malabo.
In these first 5 months of this year, 2020, only 20 fires have occurred in the city of Malabo. In an interview with the head of the Malabo fire station, Astamiro Onva, he has made it clear that the number of fires that occurred in Malabo during the first 5 months of this year is lower compared to last year. During the conversation with the state media, Astamiro has revealed that poor electrical installations are the main cause of leads to these claims. The expert of fire issues has asked for the collaboration of citizens in the next possible cases of fires in order to make the work of firefighters more efficient. As traditional information, the park manager has 1112 for everyone's knowledge as an emergency number for the warning and has announced that this code can be called free of charge, that is, without the need of recharging the mobile.
We revert again over the COVID-19 issues because health authorities continue to call on the population about the importance of maintaining social distancing to prevent the massive spread of the coronavirus. As of today, Equatorial Guinean citizens already counted more than 1,000 cases. Nevertheless, some citizens continue to live their life without applying or respecting the coronavirus prevention measures such as social distancing.
While financial and commercial institutions such as banks and supermarkets interpret the coronavirus prevention measures recommended by the health experts and include in the decree of the state of health alarm, their application is undermined by many citizens who come to these places as clients. The particular case is social or physical distancing of at least 2 meters in width, a tool that public health officials advise to reduce the spread of a disease that is transmitted from person to person, such as the COVID-19. The image of this day, as of June 2nd, has been seen from the outskirts of some banks and supermarkets in the city of Malabo. While inside the protocol established to mark the minimum distance, prudence is respected. The problem, according to the portrait, are the citizens who, in the face of this so-called invisible war, the WHO itself, the government, and the expert epidemiologists of the national health system attribute the responsibility to help stop the pandemic. because the cases of contagion increase when the recommendation for social and work distancing are not respected. Social distancing practices are behavioral changes that we can alter, which can help stop the spread of the new coronavirus, since people can spread the virus before they know they are sick. So it is important to stay away from other people, even if you have no symptoms.
In foreign news, India authorities have evacuated several coronavirus patients after Storm Nisarga made landfall on Wednesday in the country's most populous city, Mumbai, with winds of up to 120 km/h.
According to the Indian Meteorological Department, the Arabian Sea storm has intensified into a severe cyclonic storm in recent hours. Authorities are working against the clock to drive thousands of people off the coast amid fears that the city of Mumbai, already devastated by COVID-19 infections, may see its health system even more overwhelmed. Called Nisarga, the cyclone has made landfall on the coastal border of the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat, where officials have evacuated more than 100,000 people. In Mumbai, authorities have transferred 150 COVID patients to other hospitals as the newly constructed makeshift hospital where they are being treated in a low area. The city and its surroundings have so far reported some 555,000 cases of COVID-19 and more than 1,700 deaths from the disease.
In sport, the Equatorial Guinea Olympic Committee on Tuesday gave economic scholarship to 5 Equatorial Guinean athletes who participated in the first preliminary phase of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games to continue with their preparations.
Offering financial and technical aid to the athletes who participated in the first preliminary phase of the Tokyo 2022 Olympic Games to continue preparing with their technical teams, with the aim of qualifying for the multi-sport games, is one of the main plans of the TVGE. The athletes of the boxing, athletic and swimming federations have received on this day for each participant a sum of 1 million CFA francs, waiting for the last payment of 500,000 subtracting some funds that, according to the members of the TVGE, they are used to support athletes during their preparation for the Olympic Games. Some funds that, according to Asumu Kawan, come from the IOC, an Olympic solicitude to the Olympic Committee of Equatorial Guinea, in order that our country have representative in the next Olympic Games in Tokyo 2022.
Meeting this Tuesday among the members of the World Anti-Doping Association by video conference with the aim of establishing new national rules to battle doping in sports, a meeting in which included the president of the 4th Zone of Central Africa, Patricio Bakalemba.
The members that make up the World Association to Combat Doping in Sport sit in a video conference meeting to analyze the new rules that should be introduced in sport sector worldwide in order to obtain a clean sport without cheats. According to the president of ONAD's 4th Zone of Central Africa, Patricio Bakalemba, WADA congratulates our country for being the first in the sub-region to comply with the 2 demands of the World Anti-Doping Association. During the meeting, it was also learned what role ANOC will play in compliance with the anti-doping rules in the National Anti-Doping Organization.
Well, viewers, that's it for today's news edition. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Good night. The Equatorial Guinean government congratulated the health workers for their work in the fight against coronavirus in the country and announces the launching of a massive test in the near future. Meeting this Wednesday at the Ministry of Interior and Local Cooperation between the traditional doctors and the Technical Committee for Surveillance and COVID-19 Prevention. Relief for many citizens who can finally, after several parting weeks, see their loved ones thereafter the first flight of the company Sabre Intercontinental to Malabo and Bata. In foreign news, natural disaster at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. Indian authorities evacuated several coronavirus patients after the arrival of the storm Nisarga.